Yo, we can't get rid of Hunterz, can we? You're back again.
Bless up.
What's going on, Hunterz? You right?
I'm good, thank you.
Rudie?
I'm good, thank you.
Pleasure to have you down.
Thank
America.
you very much.
Good. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
Let's just go straight into it, man. Like, we're getting guests a little bit bigger now, right? We got somebody who's worked with 50 Cent. We got someone that's, you know what I mean, worked with some of the biggest names in hip hop sitting on this table.
Jeez.
Rudie, name them, drop the names, man. Who else have you worked with?
Well, if you look at the 2000s onwards to now, probably most of the biggest names in hip hop in some way. Whether I put on parties for them, I've done tours with them.
Yo, people want names. People want names, man.
Dropping names.
Drop names, man.
Drop your names, Rudie.
All right, we've done things with 50 Cent, P. Diddy, T.I., Ice Cube, DMX.
This was good DMX before DMX went, you know.
No, DMX was bad at that time. Too many.
No, that's it.
Hosted parties with Kanye, Nelly Furtado.
Was this Kanye pre-Kim or Kanye?
Kanye pre-Kim.
Yeah.
Kanye pre-Kim.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of stuff with Americans.
That's
so
awesome.
I used to only focus on the Americans initially.
Yeah. And now you're sitting across the Brit Asia table, man.
And now Brit Asia, this is the new market that I'm
we'll get to
putting
that.
my toes into.
Yeah, we'll get to that, man. Because I want to know why you're here. But Hunterz, pleasure.
Respect. Yeah.
Yo, like.
I'm really happy that Rudie's here today because this podcast mainly is going to be about Rudie.
Yeah.
I'm really proud to be working with this brother.
Yo, we're going to talk about real stories now, right?
Yeah.
Rudie, these are your real stories. Hunterz, your real stories.
Yeah,
and
okay.
there is a link between you guys. So people sitting there probably thinking, like, you know, why are you two here? There's a link, right?
Yeah.
Yo, let's go from the beginning of Hunter's career, right? And I said to you, I was like, my earliest memory of you was a religious track that you done with the bands during the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, because back then I was a fan of Upnas and Hira, Janak, they're all in there.
Legends.
And then you got Hunterz, a young Hunterz, playing tabla.
Yeah.
And it was like, who is that guy? But your journey, bro, it's not been a 5-minute journey, man. You know music.
Yeah.
You know
It's
me.
been the longest 5 minutes, if it has been 5 minutes. I've been really lucky. All the legends who you mentioned, they've showed me a lot of respect because they knew about me from young that this guy was working really hard behind the scene. So mine has been a journey that we're gonna tell properly now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people have been asking about my background, studying music, practicing music. But that's all going to be exposed in the right way now with Rudie and the whole team.
No, that's cool. Yo, let's talk about people don't know the struggle and that it takes for success, right? Success isn't Instagram. Success isn't, you know, your followers, your likes, etc., right? And I
Isn't
say,
it?
No. I'll say this straight. I'll say for like an Instagram page, you know, a Facebook page. It's an expensive business card.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not your, you know, it's not your
Value.
Yeah, that's the word. It's not your bread and
It's not
butter.
value.
Yeah.
So, some people have built careers as being influencers or whatever. But as an artist, success to me is being booked in venues, people coming to see you, you being played heavily on the radio station, and you kind of knowing stuff, right? It's not a case of I've paid someone X amount to make me a beat. It's you finding people finding you. People want you, come to you.
Well, if you're basing it on that, Hunterz is a superstar.
Yeah. I was just going to say one of the things is longevity.
Yeah.
Because I've got songs people are playing now.
Yeah.
Some of the people were really young when I released them songs.
Yeah.
Like Adele, for instance.
Yeah.
The girl who done it on, she won the internet the other day. What's her name? I forget her name, but she done my song.
Yeah.
And then it went crazy. And I was looking at it thinking, wow, man, my music is still getting played today. Now the artist who are here today.
I know him, Pyle. Yeah.
Pyle, yes. Big up Pyle.
Yeah, Pyle, big up Pyle.
All right. So the artist now, what I'm trying to do now with Rudie as well, with our team, is encourage these guys to make music that will last a long time, not just for now.
Yeah.
So we're living in a dangerous time where everybody's trying to make something just for now, to be hot just for now.
Yeah.
We weren't brought up that way. We were like, you have to have the skill first. Yeah. We weren't allowed to sing until you had the skill, right? So our training is different.
I want this training, right? And I think everyone needs to understand training.
Yeah.
Because you look at, for example, the Khan dynasty. You know, Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, Rahat Fateh Ali Khan.
Of course.
That whole family, right?
Yeah.
They spent years learning that trade. You know, it's a family
Absolutely.
thing. It's years of learning something. It's not a case of a 5-minute job. paying for fake views, fake hits. If that was the case, his music would not be being played now.
That's right.
How many times has his songs been recycled in Bollywood covers again and again and again?
Yeah.
That to me is success, right?
Yeah.
That's learning the trade.
You can't beat knowledge. You can't beat training. And what we're having now is so many artists are coming, and sometimes it's not their fault. Yeah. They don't know that you have to be training. You have to. The artists are not working as hard as they used to, because maybe social. I don't want to blame social media, but certain things has made things easier. Easier doesn't mean that it's going to be better. It's better to go through the hardship and the training because you can last longer. Because if you look at me, you wouldn't expect me to go. Sa ni da re sa pa ni re re ma pa ma re sa ni ni za de de da re ni za re za pa ni re. That is my training. That's my heritage, my family. That's where we come from.
But people see it as a re le le. You know what I mean? But it's true. As in, like, people don't understand like a real like that. They'll never see that side to you. They'll always see the commercial side, etc. But this side, there's layers to you.
That's right. This side is what's allowed me to carry on, and we can carry on for as long as we want to. But I want to try and inspire the next generation that they can too have a piece of this as well.
But again, a point of next generation. And look, there's people around here of different generations, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's becoming easier? And we're going to talk about the Asian industry first before we talk about like the bigger industry, right? Do you think it's so easy now for an artist to come into this industry? As before, for example, it was when the bands were going around. You had to be a good musician to be in a band. Yeah. You had to. You had to have skill to last. Yeah. There were so many bands from the 80s and 90s who came and they were gone.
Amazing.
They're here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the reason the likes of Hira were so successful, Apna Sangeet, the band, the musicians, they knew their stuff.
And they all sounded different.
Yeah. So Hunterz had their sound. Apna Sangeet had a sound.
Yeah.
But now it's a case of people think they learn a few beats. They copy what's hot. Yeah. So say, for example, you made something great. I'm going to copy that. Yeah. I'm going to make the same thing. I'm expecting the same success as you.
Yeah.
Do you think there's no kind of creativity now? Do you think there's more kind of less... Do you think the Asian industry has a case of let's follow the sheep, let's be sheeps?
Don't you think social media and the internet has made it easier for bad music to be promoted?
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. I get YouTube's there to kind of, you can, if you're an unsigned artist, you can kind of put yourself out there. The platforms are there. But do you not think our industry is a case of it where we just we welcome everyone? We don't have a quality control of, this is where the standard is. This is what needs to be kind of put out. And if you're using the same kind of loops again and again and again, and it's being played, then it's like, well, you're not kind of pushing the industry forward. It's just, we're stuck in this kind of time warp.
You see, the thing is with social media, is like Rudie said, it's allowed any and anybody to come forward, but it doesn't mean that's always going to stay, because quality will always last.
Quality will rise to the top.
It will always rise to the top, always. It's just that now we have to filter it through all the bullshit as well. Yeah. So,
No, that's true. Let's go into deep stuff now, right?
Yeah.
So you came into the industry, you've learned your trade.
Still learning.
You're still learning, right? Yeah. You spent time in Pakistan, you spent time in India.
Yeah, well, my teachers, my family's from Indian background, but my Ustad Grana, which is School of Music, is in Lahore in Pakistan, and with their blessings, I'm able to sing a little bit, as much as we do. Their heritage, meaning our heritage then, goes back to the 16th century. Yeah. So our ancestors would sing for Emperor Akbar. And through that lineage of the classical family who we belong to and had to get accepted by, we've been very, very blessed. When I say we, I mean me, my brother V, my brother Ishaz, our family. So we've been really lucky. Now, some of these tricks that we've learned, I want to pass them on to the next generation, because some of these guys, I'm hearing them sing, and I'm like, you're not singing, you're not doing this right. All you have to do is ask. We come from a generation where you ask, what is this? How do I do this trick? How do I do this with my vocals? Now it's a generation where they get it wrong and then they try and ask.
Do you think there's a lack of... Do you think it's either a lack of support or there's just a lack of willingness to learn?
I think it's... I don't think it's just a support. I think it's somewhere in the middle. Yeah. I have to give them credit because they don't know. Yeah. But music is like this. If you go back a few years, how many artists now would have a record deal or be able to, release music without social media? How many artists now would be able to release music?
Most of the artists on social media now wouldn't get deals.
No, I agree.
They wouldn't get deals.
Do you think it's more to do with image and looks?
Image, looks, the fact that social media is allowing artists to put out bad music. Let's say Asian artists, for instance. An Asian artist who is not that great will put out a song. The rest of the world will see that and think that is Asian music.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
That is a problem.
And we went to Punjabi MC, for example. Punjabi MC's track went global.
Massive.
Right? And that's kind of like, but that's the only kind of Punjabi song that's kind
Big
of...
up P, by the way. He phoned me the other day, so we're going to link
that's
up.
the only kind of sound that's gone. So the mainstream audience think that's the only sound to come from the industry. Why has like the Asian industry found it so hard to kind of break into, you know, the mainstream? Yeah. Is it we're not willing to... Again, we always go back to, there's a lack of support, there's a lack of infrastructure.
No, but don't you find the Asian industry very cliquey?
What do you mean by that?
Different cliques.
They tend to work with each other and nobody else. So like me, for instance, coming into the industry, they won't want to work with me, but I'm with Hunterz.
But why? I'm confused. Why are you coming into the Asian industry?
Because I've seen something in Hunterz that I feel that Hunterz' production and the music that he's brought previously, what we can do new to take the Asian music and the Asian sound that Hunterz has and merge it with a global sound, with a global urban sound, and take it around the world.
But do you not worry, right? Like,
I don't worry about anything.
No.
I don't worry about no one. I don't worry about anything.
Tell him, Rudie.
I don't worry.
Like, I love the attitude. I don't care about anybody else.
I don't care.
I'm in my own lane, which is like, I think every kind of youngster needs to understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be in your own lane. And I want to kind of mention this, right? Like, you know, Brit Asia kind of created this new kind of concept online called Brit Asia Unsigned, right?
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, and I think it's important to kind of give upcoming artists a platform. And you know, there was one video, I think there's only about 6 videos have been posted, right? One video went up, and this kid, you know, who's been working hard. Again, his video was picked up, it was shared, and he got like 10,000 views overnight. Awesome. But the hate this kid got, not just from like fellow like people, like I believe there's 2 kinds of hate, right? There's constructive hate, and there's people that just generally don't like you. You know, you're never going to please everyone.
Just from the look.
Yeah. But then there was artists in our own industry, right?
That's mad.
That were hating on this kid. Saying, what is this BS? What is the... Dude, and anybody listening to this, right? Like, I want you to pay attention to this. Like, don't be put off by hate. Because hate is everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do, you're always going to get hate. But
your haters should inspire you.
Yeah, but what kind of concerned me, right, was this kid kind of messaged the Brit Asia page saying, can you please remove my video?
Wow.
I then found out afterwards that, you know, a member from the Brit Asia team, TJ, he had to call up this kid and be like, yo, what's up? And he was like, I haven't slept in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, my mental health has been impacted by the hate. Not just the hate from, like, the general kind of public, the hate from people in the industry.
You see, that's the thing that I don't get, because where we come from, we were always taught that no matter what you think about another artist, you have to have respect. Yeah, you don't voice it that way. Between yourselves, you can say whatever you want. But to come out on social media and blatantly... If they did that, you know, to say something about an artist, you're better off not saying anything.
But that's just one example. And there's been other kind of like newcomers that have been picked up and shared. And it's, again, people in the industry hating, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 questions I want to ask, right? Is you're coming into the industry, like, as a model, presenter, etc., right? Are you not scared that, listen, like, I'm going to be torn down before I can even start my journey with your own people? Like, you're in the Asian industry. Are you not kind of like, maybe I should go to the mainstream industry where there's more support?
It's kind of like what Rudie said, like, you just got to learn not to care, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's like, it's sad, but social media is a platform where, your content can be seen globally or whatever, but it's like, everyone will always have something to say. It's how you react to it and how you use it to motivate you and work, like,
it's like Apache. It's just Apache
yeah.
He said when he came out, he goes, his own people killed him, the Asian industry. But the mainstream industry took him in.
Yeah, embraced him.
And he's like, if the mainstream didn't take me in, he goes, I don't know where I would have been in my career.
And right now, what is the #1 song playing on any advert in British television?
Yo, it's Apache.
Boom shakalak. Respect to Apache India.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm asking. Like, are you not kind of worried that you come into this scene, right? You're going to have questions against you, like, why are you here? Like, we don't want you.
They can ask me. They can say, we don't want you.
Yeah.
I'm with Hunterz. We're good. The stuff we're going to create and the lane that we're going to create, other people are going to want to ride in that lane behind us.
Yeah.
At the start of it, they're going to say, what are these guys doing? What's this sound they're bringing? The sound that we're bringing is global.
Yeah.
in a year's time, 6 months' time, when we're having hits, you're going to want to come in behind us and say, how do we do that sound?
Yeah.
How do we get that sound?
The truth is, a lot of the artists are already following and they're messaging on social media support. They all want to be a part of it because they know they know what's about to happen.
A lot of artists are messaging me directly, and some of them I don't even know who they are. I have to call Hunterz and say, "Who's this?" And he's like, "Oh, that guy's huge."
The other day he called me. So someone goes to me. someone sent him something about an artist and saying, "Yo, this is the biggest Asian artist, one of the biggest Asian artists in the world." And he said some name to me. I said, "I've never heard that name before. I don't even think it's an Asian artist. I don't know who that is."
Remember, I said, "Are you sure this guy ain't Kenyan?" I said, "No, this is not an Asian artist." And I was asking all the guys around me. I said, "Who's this artist?" But I've never heard of it.
Like, again, we'll come on to that. Like what you guys are doing. Like, respect to that, right? And we'll come on to that in a second. But do you think like there's a lot of less leech onto you? If someone's doing popping off, can we leech onto that person? And like, for example, your brother, he's working with Guru.
Yeah.
Guru's killing it.
Yeah.
Like, where your brother's journey was, say 10 years prior to Guru. Like, were doors opening for him?
10 years prior to Guru, he was sleeping on the floor in a recording studio, working on his craft as he should be doing.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
And people don't see that.
No, but now everybody's all up in his DMs, messaging him, sending him laddu and sweets and everything.
Yo, shout out for the... no, shout out to Raps, man. Rap Sentence is massive. Right. But yo, respect to that.
Yeah, so he's had a lot of messages from people, and a lot of people approached me as well, saying, would like to, can we do what V's doing? And I said, I don't know, man. V's work really, really hard, and why don't you message him yourself and talk to him? He is his own man. We're really proud of him. So, but you're 100% right. That suddenly nobody was checking for him 10 years ago when I was telling them that this kid is going to be the next one. Yeah, and then suddenly everybody comes. There's nothing wrong with people coming. It's your intention.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It comes all down to your intention.
Like, do you have if you look at the mainstream industry compared to the Asian industry? Like, again, I don't know how much you've been involved in the Asian industry, but have you seen the mentality and intentions different between the support in mainstream compared to the support, here?
The thing with the mainstream is, let's say a black artist. A black artist will come out and within the black community, there's different sections of the black community. He will get support. But then he'll take it to the mainstream, to commercial, and the commercial community will support him even more. Because they want that urban feel, they want that urban sound. So they take him in. Then it will go backwards again, and then the other black artists that weren't taking him in will now go, oh, actually, my man's big. Oh, yeah, I like that tune. I like your tune when it was this song. And it's the same wherever you go, whatever industry you're in, it will be the same. You just got to know how to handle it.
One line, sorry. No, cool. One line I always remember, right, is Notorious, this film, like every documentary, right, there was a line in there where it says, when you make it, we all make it.
Yeah.
That's my tagline. If you look on my posts, I put posts up, and at the end of my post, I say, if I've made it, you make it. If one of us make it, we all make it.
Exactly.
And that is not a black thing, white thing. This is all of us. Any of us grinding, if one of us make it, we've all made it.
Real talk.
And if we don't keep thinking like that, all that's going to happen is other people are going to bring us down.
And and the thing is, in the South Asian industry, that attitude is not there, man. From what I've seen, it could be that
it's more like, if I make it, you ain't making it.
Wow.
You can't make it.
You can't make it.
Well, someone has to change that.
It's not everybody's like that. There are certain parts of the industry that are definitely like that. Certain parts of our say communities that are like that. One thing I want to say is, though, what we're going to do is this. We're going to reach out and we are going to support artists and we are going to bring people up.
Across the board.
Across the board. It doesn't matter what colour you are, where you're from. What speaks is your talent and also how you are as a human being. We ain't going to pick up someone that has a bad attitude. All of those things. You tick those boxes and then come and see us.
Yo, you mentioned something about talent, right? I've got so much questions to ask you guys. But yo, this is something else I'll ask you. Talent is very, very important.
Yeah.
Do you think now the industry, like, again, social media, etc., your image is more important than talent? If you don't look the part, you ain't going to be recognised for your talent.
This is a difficult question.
And like yourself, like, you're doing modelling and stuff like that. Do you feel pressure that, I have to do so many sit-ups a day, I have to eat certain things, I can't do this, I can't do that?
Hope not.
No, like do you kind of have that mindset in the background, like, I have to be cautious about how I look?
Yeah, I personally don't, because I just don't care.
Yeah.
But I know that there are people who are like that, like, oh, if I don't dye my hair like this, or if I'm not this like body weight or certain stuff, they think, you know, I'm not going to make it in life. So it's dependent on.
And then when it comes to music, how important is your look?
Before you answer that, let me
Please,
say one
please.
thing.
Yeah.
Someone with a bad song,
Yeah.
rubbish song, but with great marketing and a great look will make it.
Yeah.
Someone with a great song and doesn't look that great and not great marketing won't make it. So you need to ask the industry.
Yeah.
The industry needs to be asked, how are you doing this? Because if someone with talent and with a great song is not making it because they're not getting help with their marketing or you feel they don't look good, but you're promoting people that look a certain way, this is the industry pushing something that will constantly be perpetuated.
And it's like, even, again, Notorious B.I.G., there people used to mock the way he looked, etc. But when he kind of, his talent was undeniable.
His talent shone through, but he had amazing marketing.
Yeah.
Diddy's amazing marketeer.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. He could have been with someone else and he wouldn't have made it. There are other great rappers that haven't made it.
Yeah, I know, I agree. And I think, again, if we're going back to the South Asian industry, marketing is more about your looks.
Yeah.
And like even like Sidhu Moosewala, for example, what he's doing was something completely different that took the industry by storm. And credit to him. It's working, keep going, keep going, keep going. But he's always getting called out on his looks. He's always getting called out on like the way he acts. But I'll be honest with you, man, the guy's probably laughing at his bank account, right?
Well, I was just going to say that. Look, we live in a time where you're getting called out in public.
Yeah.
Like when we were coming in the industry, there was no social media, so we couldn't see the hate.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really care, and we don't care now. All we do is, what you have to do is you have to stay in your lane. Like Rudie says, don't care. You go and this is your opportunity. This is your life.
Yeah.
Don't care about those things. Just tell them suck your mother or whatever. You can edit that out, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I feel really strongly about that. Like the guy who from America,
guy.
is it the Canadian?
Canadian
guy.
The one you told me about.
Yeah.
Those are not nice things.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And if the brother is listening, I want to say, please keep singing and contact us.
Reach out to us.
Yeah.
Message Rudie, and then come work with us, and then we'll see if there's any hate then.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, just because something's not trending today or something doesn't serve a certain like aesthetic of a company doesn't mean like you won't make it or
Absolutely.
like you're doing something wrong. Like, you should always keep going and like just keep pursuing, I guess.
I battled a lot of things which won't all be told now, but as we go along the journey, myself and Rudie, I'm really inspired by this brother. And I have to say this right now, he came and saved me. Him and the team behind him came and saved me. Yeah. I'm in the industry and I'm a well-respected person. I respect everybody, but I went through very, very difficult times in the music business. The music business is finished. There is no music business. Let's get it real. We need to set up some kind of infrastructure. We're going to have our infrastructure. Yeah. So if you want to do it properly, come and talk to us. That's what we're going to do. But I went through times where I was like, what is going on in the music business, man?
Yeah.
The thing is, Hunter's talent shone through. I may not have been listening to his music at the time.
Yeah.
I met him, spoke to him, looked at his back catalogue and thought, hold on, why are you not doing anything? Yeah. Why aren't people looking at you in a different way? Why are you... you got to imagine someone like Pitbull was doing this thing and everyone was saying, this guy's a fool. Last year, he was like one of the biggest earners in the music game.
Yeah, just like Drake as well. Like, I remember someone saying like Drake was performing in like local clubs, etc. Drake was grinding for years. People don't see the grind.
Yeah.
It's when he's made it, they want to see the grind. Yo, so Hunterz, let's get to the nitty-gritty now, right? You mentioned that you're in a dark place. A lot of artists won't talk about this dark place or anything like that. What happened?
The dark place was where the industry... there's a lot of songs that are probably produced that have not been paid for in royalties that we probably will look into. But I had management that was good, but I also had management that was bad, as in they didn't advise me on certain things that they should have advised me on. And That's what we want to do with everybody else going forward. This is not a one, my journey is not a one interview kind of thing. We'll do that, but that's where I was. So I had people who were advising me, who should have told me about certain things, and they never told me about them. And mainly, I want to come to topic like publishing. So it's like with our record label, when Rudie came to me, I was like, is this for real? They were like, yeah, this is how we're running it. I said, that's the most transparent thing I've ever, where we come from, those things are not talked about. Yeah. There are people who are managing you that might not talk to you about publishing. I spoke to an artist the other day that's shot 6 videos and doesn't know what they're owed, what they're owed in publishing terms, royalties, 6 videos deep. Yeah. Okay, that's unacceptable. And we need to educate the next generation that are coming up about their rights in music, which is what we're going to do.
And the scary thing about that, right, is, that happened to you, like, would you say the last 5-10 years?
Happened to me a long time ago.
But prior to that, those bands we talked about earlier, they were probably getting ripped left, right and centre, right?
I reckon all the Bhangra bands, the legendary ones, there's rights that they probably were owed and were probably talked out of, unfortunately.
Do you think it's just down to the fact that if I know something, I want it to fill my pockets first before it fills your pockets?
That's the mentality, isn't it?
It's the music game.
Yeah, it's the music game.
It's the music game. It's the entertainment industry, to be honest.
Yeah, I think rather than generalising to the Asian industry, would you say that's across the...
it's across the board. Because
I know with like Suge Knight and Death Row, the issue there was a case of, Suge
artists are creative people that don't know the business side. So if the person you're doing business with is not going to be honest, as an artist, you're in a bad situation. Are you going to concentrate on the business or are you going to concentrate on making music? The music makes the money to create the business. Yeah. If you don't create the music, you have no business. So now they have to weigh up in their head, all right, I'm going to make as much music as possible and maybe later down the line I'm going to work out how to collect my money. Yeah.
And that's the film Straight Outta Compton. It touched that. Literally. It was Jerry.
That's right. That's right.
Jerry and the NWA is a case of Easy in them. It was a case of, well, what was Jerry collecting? But I think the Asian mentality was that we're not owed anything. We don't get the same rights because the infrastructure's not there. But there is something there.
There is infrastructure.
There is an infrastructure, but it's so clouded, it's so blurred that artists don't know, what the infrastructure is. Sorry, that's cracking up. Sorry, yes.
The auntie.
Yeah. Cool, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You got to remember also that infrastructure is global.
Yeah.
People think that in Asia, the same rules that apply in the UK won't apply to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of those Asian artists are coming to the UK, coming to America, doing performances, doing songs. Yeah. So those rules, if they didn't apply to you in Asia, they now apply to you because you've done a song in America, you've done a song in England. We can chase that money.
Yeah.
And one of the things we do is people don't like talking about the business side of it. As soon as the artist comes, I say, listen, this is how we work. Yeah. You're going to get this. We're going to get this. This is how it's going to work. Yeah. It's up front, black and white. Please go to a lawyer. Go check it out.
Yeah.
And then come back and tell us how good that deal we've just given you is. Because we're not here to cut corners or be unjust with people. Because we are part of the Martin Luther King III initiative. Yeah. And
that's big. Yeah, we'll come to that in a second.
We'll come to it, but I need to press that point. This is a thing of legacy. This is a thing of justness. We cannot be attached to that name and be unjust and be conning people or doing something sneaky or sly. We have to be black and white. Yeah. We have to do it correctly. So
fair.
Any artist that comes our way, any business we do with anyone, it will be fair.
And for example, I know I was going to ask a question, but I was going to ask you a question. You're coming into the industry, right, from a different angle, but you're still technically an artist. Do you know that side of the business? Do you know, everything you need to know about your royalties, about your rights, etc.? Or are you learning as you're going?
I don't. I literally don't. I'm learning as I'm going. And I think I told you and yourself off camera that it's like, it's unfortunate, but the times you will learn is when the times are unjust and, things have been unfair. It's sad that, maybe I haven't had people alongside me who've been truthful or told me the full picture, like, okay, you're not going to get paid for this now, or just other little stuff. But you kind of learn as you go along if there aren't right people in your life to guide you.
That's the problem with not having the right infrastructure. So there's too many artists, and I've seen it too many times, not having the support. The worst thing is working with somebody who has an obligation to tell you and they don't tell you. Why are you not telling them? But like what you said, they want to fill their own pockets or something. That's very, very bad. That should not be happening. That should never happen.
Two of the things in the global music industry, global entertainment industry, is that the money side, people are getting conned. People are getting ripped off daily. Some of the biggest artists in the world have been ripped off. And you'd think, oh, you had money to buy a lawyer. Like, why didn't you know this? They've been ripped off. The other part is the mental health side. So in regards to what Hunterz was just saying, in regards he was in the dark place and all this, part of my record label, we have, we work alongside a charity called Think About Mental Health. And every artist, everybody that we work with has an option to speak to these people, get counselling from them, and just help in regards to mental health. Mental health is going to be a massive issue. And people, COVID and lockdown and all these things, people are not thinking about it. But previous to lockdown, artists were in dark places. You need to think of people like Amy Winehouse, Britney Spears. Where was the mental health advice from the label? Where was the support? So the label was happy to take the money off her, but no support. Cool, go off on your own and die. Basically, is out like because we've got the rights to your music in perpetuity. Wow! An artist said to me the other day, I was given a contract and there was the word in perpetuity in it, and I didn't understand it, and I was gonna sign, but I just didn't understand that word, so I went and looked it up, and it meant forever. And he said that they had the rights to my music forever. Said how many artists before you had signed? Imagine that. Imagine that. That is in the majority of contracts.
So I know it's like a different area, but the NBA, for example, when they sign, like a lot of kids who come from the ghetto, etc., they've never seen that sum of money. It was Pippen. He was saying he signed a contract which was for something ridiculous, whereas Michael Jordan had signed like little contracts which he was advised. And then when Scottie Pippen realised that he's a main player, he couldn't get that contract.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I think that's everywhere. Like, that is a scary, scary thought that, you know, when somebody comes into the industry, they see a few zeros. But they don't realise those few zeros could be so much more.
People don't realise that an advance, everybody's happy to get an advance so they can buy their jewellery, buy the car, get maybe a little flat. An advance is a loan. And you're going to pay interest on that loan. And you need to sell music to pay that loan back. So if you don't sell the amount of music to pay that loan back, you're in debt.
It's like Tupac and Suge Knight.
There you go.
Tupac wanted to create his own record label, etc. And Suge was like, yo, but remember, you owe us this, you owe us this, you owe us this. And
this is why I have to respect Dr. Dre, man. When Dre left, Dre was like, keep it.
Keep it all.
But he knew that when he left, them hands went with him. You know, and then everybody knows what he done.
The talent is within the artist. I'm a record label. I can find loads of artists, but I can't find another Hunterz. Hunterz needs to bring up the youth behind him and create another Hunterz. I can't do that because I'm not an artist. So
that's what we want to do. We want to get the next generation, because let me just say this: there is talent out there, but they need much, much more support than probably what I had. They need that support now. And that's why we have people like Rudie, who's doing an amazing thing. He doesn't need to come to the Asian industry. He can be like, what, are you mad? This mess, I'm not coming over here. But he's coming in out of respect, and he's saying, all right, that's cool. Our record label, so the label that Rudie's got that I'm with, is a global record label.
It's
not just one style of music, but he loves Asian music.
That's the thing. We'll come on
the thing is that when I met Hunterz, I said, right, listen, we're going to do something in the Asian music industry. We're going to do this. And then I could have set up the record label on my own and just gone there. I said, you know what? I listened to Hunterz. I kind of looked at his past and what he'd been through. I said, no, I need to reassure him. I gave him 50% of the label.
Wait, how did this link even happen to begin with?
How did you meet?
So,
because like, does the outside industry look at the Indian industry?
The outside industry does not look at the Indian industry or the Asian industry unless you're making a big splash.
Like Timbaland, for example, he's taking like Bollywood loops. You know, Bollywood looking at the Punjabi industry, because obviously I feel like Bollywood's running out of ideas. But I wouldn't think the hip hop, the world, like the biggest music industry in the world, looks at this small kind of Punjabi industry.
No, Jay Sean opened the door. Jay Sean opened the crack, and everyone started looking in and saying, there must be other people like Jay Sean out there. There must be. But what people didn't realise that Jay Sean came from the root of Hunterz.
Came from the Asian industry, man. He paid his dues in the Asian industry and worked his way up. Even when he got dropped by the label, and everybody was like, what's this guy going to do now? He went behind the scenes for 2 years and came back and came with Ride It, and then worked his way to number one in America. So there are people out there. So people like Rudie are watching. They've been watching me for about 15 years. They have an infrastructure there that have been watching me, and I didn't know. They've been watching me every step of the way. And that's why they come.
I know it sounds like a really dumb question, but how are you watching him? And that's the thing. How do kids kind of say how do I know someone's watching me? Like you said to me earlier, I'm watching you. Like, why are you watching me for, bro? Like, you know what I mean? But how do you know someone's watching?
All right, so I am supported by a hedge fund called Axe Capital, and that hedge fund has been watching the industry. There are people who have an Asian background within that hedge fund. They've been watching the industry. They've been watching Hunterz, and they know me. So they've been watching me watching Hunterz. And they said, listen, if we put these two together, let's introduce them and see how it goes. I was introduced to Hunterz, and from there I was like, hold on, tell me more. He told me. I was like, bro, you're meant to be like the Dr. Dre of the Asian music industry. What are you doing? What's going on? Where's the people around you? Then I looked into the stuff that he'd been through. I said, that's why. We need to change this. Let's do it now.
Do you think change can be done quickly, or it's going to take years to... Because change starts with mindset, right? You can't just kind of come in like, yo, here's change. You have to change the thinking of people before you can actually...
Sometimes the change comes with... It's a bit crass to say it, but change comes from the money. People are so interested in the money you're making that they will change to be able to make some of that money. If we have a massive global hit, people are now going to say, okay, they're doing it like this. Maybe we need to change a little bit of what we're doing to go this way. And that also gives us the influence and the
power. The
kind of power to say, look, this is what we've done. This is what you're doing, and you're still here. If you want to have more hits like this, you need to change the industry. The industry needs to change. You need to be able to... Artists need to feel comfortable with their managers, feel comfortable with their labels, feel comfortable that I just had 1.3 billion hits on this song, but I've been paid 10 grand. Like, what's going on? Where's the money? Because a UK artist has 10 million hits, and he's living like he is 50 Cent out there. He's like, I got 10 million hits, living like driving G-Wagons, big chains. You're like, how are Asian artists having 500 million hits and talking about being broke?
Yo, this is the thing about hits, right? Do you think hits is success?
No, hits is not necessarily success, but the hits will generate success for you. But
do you think it generates success for everyone? And the reason I'm asking this, right, is you look at, for example, artists in India. They kind of reach these kind of PR companies, etc. These companies say to them, look, okay, it's going to cost you X amount for a video. It's going to cost you X amount to get the music done. And it's going to cost you X amount for these hits. They'll be like, yo, I got 100,000 hits in 10 minutes. But nobody knows who they are. And it's literally like, you're here today and you're gone tomorrow. Like, you type in on YouTube, latest Punjabi music 2021. Every morning. You're going to see 50 new videos every single day.
That's right.
Generating thousands and thousands of views. But these artists are literally here today.
What's their team doing? This is what... An artist cannot do it all on his own. He needs a team. He needs people to work on his marketing. He needs to get branding deals, partnerships. All these things need to be put in place. And
it goes back to infrastructure. Needs to be
infrastructure. And I look at the industry, like what you're saying. I call the Hunterz and say, right, I'm on what's the channel?
Say T Series.
I'm on T Series. I'm watching T Series right now. What's going on, bro? What is this? What is this I'm watching, bro? This guy's got 500,000 hits. I've never heard of him. What's going on? Who is this guy? And I'll tell him, he'll be like, no, he's like just standard.
But do you think with the Asian industry it's a case of, okay, we can milk money from these... Because there's so many artists out there. We can milk money from them. And we only can take them seriously when the public starts taking them seriously.
Well, that's always been the case with any artist, any industry that you're into. They're only going to want to know you when you've gone to a certain level. One thing I want to say is this: I want to advise all artists now: own your music, own your music. It's very, very important. We were never taught that, to have some ownership as well. It was like, well, the record company's paying for all of this. And like I said, I give credit where credit is due. But now it's a different ball game. Own your music. So I just wanted to point that out.
No, like, do you kind of worry about your image rights?
Yeah, I think it's actually photographers own all of the image rights, but it's kind of making my own content really.
Do you not worry that this is someone coming as a youngster, like a model, for example, right?
Yeah.
And I'm using Mia Khalifa for example. Like Mia Khalifa done like 2 or 3 jobs, and that was it. She lost the rights to those videos. Those videos end up generating billions for somebody else, and she was like, I'm broke.
But do
you not think that's like a worry for you as well? Like, these photographers will pay you X amount, when in reality they can make so much more. But it might do nothing for you as an artist or model, but for them it's gonna blow them up.
Yeah, like I said, it's not just this industry or the music industry. It's any industry you go into.
Yeah.
So is it your right to be educated within your industry, or is someone meant to tell you? What do you guys think?
So you need to learn, but also you need to bring in the right team, because everything is negotiable.
100%.
Everything is negotiable. If a photographer says to you, "Oh, I'm going to own the rights to this," if you had the right management, the right team, the right infrastructure, they would say, "Actually, you know what? We're not doing it then."
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. We're not doing it. I'd rather
people need to be able to say no.
Yeah.
And they feel like they are forced to say yes.
Yeah.
They realise your value.
They've given me an opportunity. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah, I think that's the worry. If I say no today, will I get another opportunity tomorrow?
You have to live like that. You have to be brave. When you come into entertainment, you have to be very, very... we're living in really challenging times now. I came from that infrastructure where if you ain't practice for 10 hours a day, that's just your first half of your day, then you're not serious. We had that training. But where do these artists now, where do they go? Who do they talk to? And they're talented. They're models, they're presenters, anything. You got to select your people, as Rudie said. You got to select your team very carefully, but you got to have the right team and be brave enough to say, that's not the right thing for me. I'm going to find another way. 3 words, find a way. Don't complain, find a way. Move on. Say no, that ain't for me, and carry on.
Let me give you another example. So I do stuff in football. So I got football agency, association, and academies and stuff, and it's within Africa, and I hear stories of young African players being signed to agents and getting no money. They've signed this deal. They're at this team. They're getting no money. Their family's not getting no money. The agents that had them for years are getting no money. So now what I've done is I set up a platform where they can contact me and say, what is our... This is what I'm being approached with. What do you think I should do? I give them free advice. You don't need to sign with them. Just wait.
Yeah.
Your talent will shine through. If you're an amazing footballer, Man United will find you.
Yeah.
Man City will find you.
Yeah.
Like... Don't worry. Just keep putting your talent out there. You'll be found.
People want the quick
People
win.
want it now.
Yeah.
Everybody
Social
wants
media's given
everything
that.
now. Social media has put it in everyone's head that I can have it now.
Gratification now, today. But
It's like
not.
I can have it now or I have to have it now. Otherwise I miss my chance.
But there's no route to getting it.
Yeah.
They see the bottle and say, I can have that. I don't know how I'm going to get it.
It's not an industry thing.
Not this one.
It's a generation thing.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right, let's talk music now.
Okay.
Let's get into it together. What's happening? Tell the people what they want to hear, man.
Literally.
Start.
We've just recorded my first single, which is going to be on our record label, which is called
London Inc.
London Inc., which is based in...
Westminster.
Yeah.
Opposite Westminster Abbey, next to the Parliament, the end of our road, we have the London Eye. We are in the centre of power.
How did we do that, bro? How did we end up there? That's a story in itself.
Name me one record label with Asian artists. Oh, you're 50% owner. That have a record label in the heart of London.
I don't own any of my previous music,
Yeah.
none of it. And what they've done for me is amazing. They said, not only are you going to come here and we're going to work with you, we're also going to give you 50% of the record label. And I said, say that again. Say that again.
He deserves it.
No,
Look, the amount of work he's put in the industry.
Yeah.
For him not to be involved in the infrastructure of the industry is a travesty. It's just I don't understand it. I don't understand. Where are the major artists Why are they not setting up labels? Why are they not bringing through the next generation? Why are they not helping others? Why are they just taking their money and saying, oh, I'm going to go buy a big house and a big car?
Yeah.
That's very, very true, you know.
What is going on?
What I want to do with the infrastructure, with Rudie and the whole team, is I do want to help the next generation. I do want them to come to us. I do want them to say, I want to introduce them. You don't even have to go through me. We don't want nothing. I want you to come and have a conversation over here. But you got to know music. When you come to me, make sure you know about music before I introduce you to Rudie or anybody else. And if I say to you, go and work on this, the thing is, when I usually tell an artist to go and work on this, they respect my opinion. I'll say, go work on this and come back. You can't come to me and say, bruv, this is a big tune. Not that anybody would ever say that to me. I would know within the first 10 seconds where that song is going to go. So come correct. What I'm saying to everybody is, work harder. You know, believe in yourself. Push yourself. Don't sing one verse and start patting your back. Move forward. Work harder. Really, really push yourself. We're still pushing ourselves today. I'm going to make the best music I've ever made now. I never made that before.
And do you think that's inspiration? Like now you've got support.
It's because I've got
proper infrastructure behind you.
Well, I've just shot my most expensive video ever. I shot a video. We shot over 2 weeks. And I was looking around and however you want to take this, but I was like, there's like 20 non-Asian people working on my video. And these guys work regularly on adverts for Boohoo, man. Yeah. Who else?
They work for Boohoo, Gymshark.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
So the
loads. They do.
These are big names.
They do movies.
Yeah. They do movies. They do mainstream, and Red Cow Media, who do our
media, our PR.
They do the PR for
branding.
They do the branding for Boohoo.
So what we've done is we brought in the different elements that we need to make this a success, and brought it all in-house and worked together with. We partnered up with loads of different elements: branding, PR, marketing, production. The actual studio, we own the studio, so we have our own studio. We don't have to hire anybody's studio. When Hunterz feels like, he just goes downstairs, records. So we have everything in-house. Literally, you come to us and we do what we have to do.
For me, it was amazing working on that video.
And one thing I want to say, if you heard what Hunterz said, he said he's going to be making his best music. Yeah. Not his best Asian music. His best music. Yeah. So this is what I want to stress to everyone. We are a global music company. Yeah. We make global music. You may be an Asian artist, but we're going to make that song or that sound travel globally. Yeah. Don't ever think to yourself that I make Asian music, so it's only going to sell here. I make Punjabi music. It's only going to sell in the Punjab. It's only going to sell to these people.
That's the glass roof effect.
The glass ceiling you're creating for yourself. Yeah. That glass ceiling doesn't exist when it comes to music. Music travels everywhere.
We live in a world now where, which is why when the guys bring the MLK initiative over here, we live in a world where we got to inject a bit more love into the world right now. Look everywhere, division. Everybody's been separated. Hate has been been thrown in our face. What we have to do, what we're going to do, our contribution through music and entertainment. Why can't we get a Punjabi singer, get the hottest Albanian rapper, put them together, or get a rapper from Morocco, get an artist from there, get just something different. We can do that now. Yeah. I can do those things now. I couldn't do those things before. When I made Rele is obviously the backbone of the song is Arabic. I love Arabic music. I done that back then. And I said to the people I was working with, what we should do now is I should feature with an Arabic artist. They couldn't get it. They just couldn't get that. I was like, 15 years ahead. Now with these guys, I don't even have to say that. They've already put it on the table and said, okay, H, now you'll be working with so-and-so from here. Some names that I grew up with, I will be working with now. Just because they made it.
You're going to hold fire on those names?
Sorry?
You're going to hold fire?
I have to at the moment, because the best thing to do is present it.
That's it. And just on collaborations.
By the way, my single is dropping just after Ramadan, probably around about Eid. I can't wait for you to hear this tune. Yeah. The tune has everything. It has the streets. Yeah. It has the hottest sound on the streets. It has our culture, and it has a mixture of cultures. So Amina, who is a artist that I found from my hometown of Bedford, so big up. Nobody knows her. She's upcoming. We selected her after reaching out to someone that's got a name, and they didn't want to be a part of it or didn't even reply back to the email. That's just common courtesy. I can say now that Amina and her infrastructure behind her will take her to places where these other artists would have only dreamed of. Yeah. So and she's singing in Arabic. I'll just give that much.
Arabic and English.
Yeah.
But you know, I think fusion is a big thing.
Fusion.
Anything, not even just music, in life as well. You fuse. Like
you take the best elements of everything,
even
put
food.
together. Yeah.
But they took the best elements of food. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's mixture.
And if that can be done with music, then
you see, music doesn't have a language. Like, I don't know Spanish, and you want to hear me sing Despacito. I don't know what I'm singing.
But it sounds good.
Yeah. But it's beautiful. Yeah. I don't know Arabic, but I love the music and I love the culture. Yeah. I love it. I'm studying it. Yeah. So music is the only language I feel left in the world that is connecting people. And I think everything else is separating us.
And on that point, man, I think let's finish off on the MLK initiative. I think that's a big thing.
So the people need to remember MLK has no colour boundaries.
Yo, if people don't know who MLK is, let's say who
Martin Luther King
Jr.
the Third is the present MLK.
Respect.
And the initiative he's the head of that initiative. So there's Martin Luther King Jr. the Third and his daughter Yolanda King. Yeah. So she is like a 16-year-old young lady, and if anyone wants to Google her, you'll see that she's given speeches to 1 million people at Washington. It's like this, do your history, do your checks, know about Martin Luther King.
Very inspirational.
Very inspirational. And also, there's no colour bar to what they were speaking about. They were speaking about justice and equality for everyone, even back then when they were fighting for black justice. Yeah. They were talking about it for everyone. And we're now in a time where we all need it.
Exactly. And again, the BLM movement is going on. The farmers movement. That is justice for everyone. It's not a case of, you know what I mean? And these guys, they talk about what's called justice. Yeah. Justice isn't one race.
Justice is universal.
It's universal. There's people in, like, for example, China going for it, Asia going for it, North America, South America. There's still slavery going on. People don't realize slavery hasn't gone completely.
It's gone underground.
Yeah. It still exists.
Yeah. Shout out to our Punjabi brothers and sisters, by the way.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We've got a lot to cover, right? But
a lot.
We have to do a part 2, 100%.
We have to.
But Hunter, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I have to say, big up to Rudie, because what he's doing, he's bringing cultures together. Yeah. The infrastructure, the whole team behind them, they're bringing people together, and they will be speaking about some of the stuff that you just touched on now, the injustices. They will be speaking about it head on. They're going to have uncomfortable conversations.
You need to, again, with this podcast, uncomfortable conversations is what makes change.
Yeah.
Real people, real talk.
Exactly.
Well,
that's our motto. That's our slogan.
Yeah.
We're copyrighted.
Our slogan.
That's our slogan.
We said it first.
Our slogan is real music, real talk.
Really?
That is our slogan. Real music, real talk.
Yeah, because we ain't about all the rest of it, man. We ain't about that, man.
Nah.
Because it's not just music we're going to be involved in. We're going to be involved in music, other parts of entertainment, films, mental health. We want to bring the realness. We're leading the way with our music and then opening other doors.
Generation needs it.
There you go.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Closing thoughts, man. Hunterz.
I just want to say respect to you guys, respect to Brit Asia. Yeah. Brit Asia, you're doing an amazing job. Big shout out to, I really do like the unsigned thing. Please carry that on. Yeah. And hopefully we can get involved in that,
I hope we can get involved in that.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is really, with that, we want to bring other cultures and open the doors for other cultures.
Like, what's your advice for these unsigned kids? As in, like, there's going to be people who are hesitant of sending things through.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
Reach out to us.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. If they don't send the stuff through, how's anyone going to see them?
Yeah. And I think one thing as well is, like, I've seen some of the emails that some kids send through that TJ shows me, like, all the time. And there's good and bad, right? And I think one thing people need to realise is don't get kind of upset if you don't hear back.
Yeah.
Because you're not just one. There's so many people sending stuff as well. And eventually keep going, and eventually, you will get your break.
Listen, I was that kid from Bedford who used to try and do the moonwalk, and people used to laugh at me in a funny way. And then years later, I supported Michael Jackson with Bally Sagoo. I came to Birmingham, and I love reggae, and I got to work with UB40 for 10 years.
Awesome.
All right? What you have to do is believe in yourself. It doesn't matter. Like, what did Rudie say? I don't care. Don't care about nothing else. You must believe. If you do not believe in yourself, trust me, nobody will believe in you.
100%.
That's the key.
With my background, I should not be in Westminster.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have ever been mixing with the people I was mixing with. I should never have got to where I am. But I don't care about nothing. I just do me.
Yeah.
And I believe that anything is possible.
Walk
there's nothing that's impossible for me.
I love that.
Love that.
Amazing.
Literally.
Really good. Final thoughts.
Big up Rudie, big up Hunterz, breaking stigmas, bringing cultures together and making a change.
Yeah, guys, definitely. We'll do a part 2, man.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.